Good afternoon, evening. Right, so a little update on the video. So as I said, this is shared from his media, so everybody can see. Obviously, he wants people to get it out there and wide, far and wide. So give us a like, give us a follow, give us a subscribe. So enjoyed that video. Don't forget to give me a like, a subscribe, and get it shared. It all helps the channel, helps my channel anyway. As I say, I share this on behalf to get the word out far and wide, raise the colours and down it more. Thank you.
My second live. You can see me. Just a quick hello on this very, very windy, rainy Sunday. Hope everyone's having a blessed Sunday. Just a real quick one. Good. Yeah, it's just come on and say a quick hello. You know, this weekend is once again shown that the country is wide awake. Things were happening everywhere. Braintree, Crowborough, even London. It's good to see. It's good to see that people are consistently taking a stand. Seeing it across the country. It's good. People are really starting to understand that you have to be consistent. You cannot just do this as a one-off thing. You got to keep it going. You've got to keep showing them that people are angry, especially the local residents, throughout all the protests that we've seen over the last few days. But we did something a bit different today, this morning, which I just wanted to come on and really talk about. Really was, you know, the lads that we met, that I was with in France with. We were invited to a church this morning, and a few of the group, some of them couldn't make it, but we went to church, and it was beautiful, actually. You know, to put our faith at the forefront of this, and to sit along people within church that understand how important it is that Christianity needs to be at the forefront. This is a spiritual battle as much as it is as a physical battle. And anyone that doesn't really understand that, I would advise you to really look into how much naughtiness and how much evil is around the world, because that's what it is. This is a fight between good and evil. That's what this is. You know, the evil for me is the money around what we're seeing in France. When there's so much money involved, and there's so much money that's being handed to different elements from the top to the bottom, that is the issue, because money is the root of all evil. When you look at why the steps were taken by the French to ban gatherings in France, I believe everything is connected. The NGOs in France, Utopia 56, their accounts show that they've taken millions and millions of euros in wages, and that only 10% of the money that's being given to them by British companies ends up at the actual migrant level. And then looking at, you know, the operation of human trafficking throughout Europe. At first I didn't understand it, and I was probably quite silly to not really understand it at that point, but I understand it now. When I spoke to someone I have in France and inside, I said, how is it that these flip-flop wearing, tent sleeping, Sudan, Somalia individuals are somehow paying money when they've got nothing? And it was explained to me that the debt doesn't start until they hit the shores of England. The debt also is paid, half of it by the family, half of it by them, but it doesn't activate. The debt isn't activated until they land in England. So these gangs, these trafficking operations, which are very, very well organised, it's organised crime straight from the slums of Sudan, straight from the slums of Africa, the Middle East. They help them, they advise them. On the migrant phone, it's clear to see there's a gentleman from the Middle East who is not friends with this guy on this platform, but he's instructing him what to say, how to say it. He's giving him a blank canvas of what the form for the asylum will look like, and giving him every single answer. And then I realised that when they get to the England, then the debt is activated. So they have to pay monthly, or they pay through Western Union, is it? Western Union, the families pay. But they don't have to pay all at once. They can pay monthly instalments. So if you think it's like a mobile phone contract, so the elements of money from the human trafficking gangs that operate in the Middle East, operate in Africa, they operate throughout Europe. So they help them throughout Europe to get to these places like France. In Paris, we've seen a lot of it. And then you look at the NGOs, the charities are making eye-watering money. Eye-watering money. And the money that's being made is going in wages. So they're taking such a significant, huge amount of money that you don't blame them for what they're doing. If the migrant epidemic, the migrants stopped coming into Europe, stopped trying to travel across the channel, their funding would stop. If the migrants are stopped, their money is stopped. So the human trafficking gangs throughout Europe, throughout the Middle East, throughout Africa, money. You understand the tap that they've turned on into England, into the United Kingdom, is because they're third world men that they don't want in their own country. We're giving them, the UK government is basically saying, send as many as you want. And the French are going, well, we don't want them, so you have them. And that's, so when you think about the French and you look at, well, why is nothing going on? Well, why would the French do anything? Why would the French even participate in actively trying to stop the migrant boats when they're actually just emptying their country of wrong-uns? And it's a continuous belt of wrong-uns. And then you look at the camps. How is it that these men apparently travel through Europe, you know, in different ways, and suddenly when they get to the camps, they're all from the same place? 1 week they're all from Sudan, 1 week they're all from Eritrea, next week they're all from the Middle East. I mean, how is that they're always from the same place? And then it's like a conveyor belt from the NGOs, so that what they'll do is they'll empty the camp and send them to England, and then right on cue, the next lot turn up and they come in the camps and they're all from the same place. So again, going back to the money side of it, the NGOs are making money. The French government are making money from the British government. They're then getting rid of all their crap out of their country straight into England, knowing full well as soon as they get on them boats, it's England's problem. Okay, then we go to England and we look at the facilities that are being used in Dover. The whistleblower that sat with me provided those pictures, shows the huge amount of money that is flowing through these places. You know, millions of pounds is being spent to facilitate these migrant men being in these facilities. Again, money for the charity, money for all involved, money, you know, they're not spending all of the money. They're putting a little bit of money. If you think what 10% of millions of pounds is, they put 10% in just to facilitate these migrants being dealt with in the facility camps, in these camps. You know, it's all money motivated. Again, money. And then you look at the hotels. You know, we've looked at a hotel where this certain migrant is, from the migrant phone. I know where he is. We know where he is, and that the plans are being made to make sure things are dealt with. Well, that's the last thing I'll say on that. You know, £12,000 a day this hotel's getting. 12 grand a day. A day. One hotel. And that's not even in England. It's in the United Kingdom. Money, money, money for every level. Every single level. From this is all because money is the root of all evil. As soon as people see that they can make a bit of money, and they can consistently make that money and always keep that money, keep it going, why would anyone stop it? On every level. Why the NGOs, the French, the human traffickers, the hotels, the HMOs, the British government. The British government, you know, they have a globalist agenda. We're dealing with a Labour government. But again, I totally believe that even when Conservatives were in this, the Conservatives did exactly the same. They did it on a bigger level. So you've got to look at that and say, well, clearly there's someone above all these people. There is a certain entity which sits above governments in the United Kingdom, and they run the show. Like BlackRock in America. You know, yes, I'll be honest. You know, there is an element that we need to look at. But why is it? I mean, there is a certain aspect of individuals that are at the top of this tree, and they're making sure that destabilizing the West is their #1 agenda. And anyone that goes against that agenda is a racist, is anti this, anti that. You know, they'll come hard on you. You cannot speak out about it. So yeah, so it's as soon as people realise that there is no one element to this. It's not just the French. It's not just the British government. It's not just the migrants. It's not just the hotels. It's not just the charities. It's everyone is making money, and they're making a significant amount of money. Everyone is. While all of us sit there with our eyes, mostly, some of the public that think the gangs smash the gangs, while you're looking that way, they're all looking that way, making loads and loads of money. So yeah, so like I said very clearly with what happened last Saturday, everything that's being done now is doing behind the scenes. There will be no conversations. There will be no conversations about what's happening in France on any live streams or any videos. We now have to change tactics. I've not been served anything. I am not banned from France. No one has sent me anything. No one has knocked my fucking front door. Yeah, and people can say that I'm banned from France and that they think I'm banned from France. No one's told me anything. Be careful, yeah. Risks, yeah, lots of them. Do we need to take risks? Yeah, probably do. If anyone thinks that anyone else could just walk into France in groups and suddenly everything will just be okay, and they go, oh, yeah, welcome in, guys. That's why action was needed before the French were able to do what they've now done. Serve papers to people. That's why action needed to be done. People, didn't get that. I did. And we made so much noise that the French government, at the highest level, closed the north of France to British patriots. Now, if you don't think that means you're getting on their toes, I don't know what really would. And anyone that's under the impression that anyone else was just going to walk into France in groups and patrol the French beaches and go to the migrant camps, you're living in a dream world. This was always going to happen. This was their plan, and we gave them time to do it because we waited too long. And now we've got to do things completely different. If you think a French ban will stop this, imagine what our grandfathers would be saying. They'd be turning in their grave. What? The frogs told you he was banned, so he didn't send anyone. Get a grip. Risk and the need to be taken. You can't go to France while there's a ban. If there's a ban in place, you cannot go to France because you're risking being arrested and detained, like our friend Reese. I've been speaking to Reese. Reese is a really nice lad, and what he went through was disgusting. He got put with the dogs. So now you've got to be clever. Now you've got to be smart. But waiting is doing nothing. It's giving them time to do what they've done, and they've now put things in place, and they will continue to do that. That's why it needs to keep going. Consistency. Yeah, got to be clever, and that's what it's about. No more talking on the internet. No more plans being discerned. Meet us here. Meet us. You had your chance. You never turned up. So now we're going to do things differently, because this is the point has to be made. In the winter, the boats are very they don't come very often because of the weather and because of our presence since September. Yeah, they've in some cases it's been because of us. In some cases it's been because of the weather. But do not get it twisted. In a few months down the road, they will be coming in their thousands, and there'll be boats every day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boats. What the French are doing are sending a message to us to say, you're not going to stop us dumping our shit on you. You're not going to stop us from dumping our waste on you. That's what they're saying to us. Yeah, there's a ban. There's a ban from anyone going into France. You don't think that was the original plan always? The NGOs are not going to let their cash cow stop. The HMOs, the hotels, they're not going to let their cash cow stop. You think this could have been done in a way where people were suddenly vetted and then they could all go walking along the beach? It's just bullshit. And I'll call it out where I see it. And I do. It's bullshit. So I don't want to offer too much because it's Sunday. So yeah, the lads today, we met up at church. We had a great opportunity to bond as a group. I need a tight group. I need people that I can trust. I need people that are not going to just open their mouth and talk shit as soon as something goes wrong. Yeah? People that can be trusted, that don't share information, don't share voice notes like little bitches. I need people that can be trusted. And today started to form a real bond with those that can be trusted, because it's clear this needs to be done in a way that can be done with a small group and making a huge impact. The French will not know what's coming. And when it's happened, it'll be too late for them to react. Because up till now, we've done a bit of a move where we've publicised what we're going to be doing. And we've made sure that everyone knew and had an opportunity to come and help us. That opportunity has now passed. Things now need to happen a different way, an English way. So that's it. I'm not walking away. No matter how many of you try and slander me, no matter how many of you try and come for me. I've had years and years of lies and slander. Okay, rumours are the devil's whisper. Take me on what I do, not on what people say. Remember that. Okay? Remember that. Do not donate any more of your money to anyone. Do not donate your money to anyone. There is no reason for hard-earned people in this country to be donating any of their money to anyone, unless those people are actively showing you why they're doing things. That's why when the French operation stopped and we stopped needing equipment, stopped needing travel money, the PayPal was all taken down. And since then, not once has been shared. Because you do not need money for this. Money is the root of all evil. People will carry on doing things when they don't really need to do in that way. Money motivation. We're seeing it everywhere. Everywhere. I don't need money to do any of this. I needed money back then because I was away from my home for a month. No one needs money. Don't give it to them. That's my rant over. I want to thank the boys for meeting me at church today, and I know there's many more coming from the group next week that couldn't make it today. And I want to show you what happens when a collective group of patriots come together, and not just come together physically and the things that we need to do, but also spiritually with Jesus Christ under our banner. You know, it's so important that people understand that we're in a religion, not just a spiritual battle, a physical battle, but a spiritual battle as well. And the devil will try everything in their power to take things down. In the last few weeks, more attacks have come from the right side of politics than the left side. And that is an issue. More of you from very small minority, a very, very small, I mean, look at the figures on these posts and the information it's getting out, but a small minority of you are actually getting worse than the left. And you need to stop, because all you're doing is having a detrimental effect on the movement, on the cause, okay? Just stop it. You don't have to like everyone. You don't have to agree with everyone. But you have to be on the same side for the right reasons, for the cause, for everything, even if you don't like it. You don't go out and start publishing bullshit. Just don't talk. Let people do what they do and let others do what they do. We're all on the same side. It's to do with our children. Jesus Christ, grow up. The lefties aren't even doing as what these minority lot are doing. The lefties aren't even coming for us the way that these are. It's insane. It's insane. It needs to stop. I've seen it for years. I've seen it for so many years. I really have. It destroys everything. Infighting destroys movement. Bickering and arguing. Oh, he said this and you've done that. Are we in kindergarten? I don't respond to anyone. No matter what you put out about me, you're not going to get my attention. My attention is on the cause. And so it has been for 10 years. And everyone that knows me knows I don't get involved. Don't talk about it. Okay? Don't. That's it. Job done. Anyway, waffle over for the Sunday. Much love to everyone. Lots coming. And I wish everyone well. I hope what everyone else is doing, I hope it all works out. Yeah? Just because certain people have now been served with papers, that does not mean others can't go in their place. Do not let them tell that this is over now, this is it, can't be done. No, bullshit. Just can't be done in a way that people need to donate for this to work. It can work, it just doesn't need to be internet based. It can be behind the scenes, like English and British men doing it for the right reasons. End of. Simple. Done. Done deal. And I wish everyone well. And just to Callum, just so you know, mate, yeah, the lads Reese that got arrested, they got arrested on the Sunday, and it was nothing to do with me, and they've clearly stated that. So take your bullshit, take your arguing, take your nonsense, take it somewhere else, okay? The risks that need to be taken, the lads that we're dealing with, they understand the risks. We cannot now publicise anything about France. It now needs to be done covertly in the right way. This isn't about likes. This isn't about videos. This is about results. And the results are no boats have landed on the shores of the United Kingdom since this Friday night where that ban came into play. If it takes us to put pressure on the French government to then to put a ban in place for then actually to go out and patrol the areas that they need to patrol in, then so bloody be it. Let's go. Happy days. Because the only thing that matters is that the boats don't come. And at the moment, no boats are coming. Be it the weather, be it the French putting hundreds of police on the French coast. I don't care what it takes, as long as they stop. Because in a few months' time, they're going to be coming 1,000 a day. The whistleblower told me 1,000 a day. You think this is the moment? This is going to happen. It's going to take 2, 3, 4 years for this to work. You never know. This is the long game. Stop thinking now. But things have to happen now because we cannot wait. We were very lucky to get out of France, and I was very intelligent. Anyone that turned up with me on that day and stood with me and knows, even after, I had to go and meet people after the meet that had travelled from 7 hours. Glenn, you know, I think it was Glenn. Glenn had driven from 7 hours down from the north of England. I felt so bad. I waited for him. I went and then took him for lunch. Sat there and said, I know you couldn't make it, but, you know, people are willing to do what's needed. But there wasn't enough. There wasn't enough. You all talked a good game, but you weren't there when it came down to it. And probably a good thing, because a lot of people would have got nicked. And it's a good thing that I did it the way I did it, because no one got nicked. Other lads there on the next day, whatever. But yeah, big up to everyone that turned up at church today. That was a brilliant service. I want to say big thank you to being invited to there. We're going to be there back next week. We're going to be going for the roast dinners. You know, becoming a real outfit unit is important now for what the next stages of Operation Overlord look like. So it is what it is. Much love to you all. God bless you all. And remember, the devil will try and stop everyone from being in one